it's not an exclusive club being a professional. It's just those who are just willing to just continue on and face a lot of no's and understand it's not the end every time they it's just it's a reroute. It's not, of course, it's never the end of the road. It's always just okay, this road's not for me. Take a little, try this one, try this one, try this one.
"30 years old," people will be like, "Oh, age." So I want to talk about that, because that's something that always comes up, and that's something that I always like to talk about. Like, obviously, people always want to go to that age thing, but I like the age is just a number, and especially, guys like yourself and guys like me who like to do the extras. I think we can prolong our career. So, can you touch on that for people who, might get discouraged about their age?
Yeah.
But I think, me and you preach, if you do those extras, you can prolong your career.
Yeah, I think what's been helpful for me is I know even my early journey into football was very non-traditional, very non-cookie cutter. I didn't follow like the classic system of getting into a team at 8, 9 years old, getting into an academy. The fact that, and I knew that just getting into a team at Luton Town, where a lot of the other players there have been there multiple years at other academies, it just kind of showed me evidence that it doesn't always have to be the well-traveled route, that it doesn't always have to be that way, and everybody has their specific journey. And I've always really held on to that, and I've always known that there is opportunity out there. And I think as much as there are so many people pursuing to be professional athletes or top level players, there's very few actually on the course to doing it and like taking the necessary steps, doing the extras. There's a lot of people like talking and wanting and telling themselves, the same people say, "Oh, I want to be a millionaire," but they're not doing anything. They're still just going to a 9-to-5 job and things like that.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people
looking for those
things.
quick fixes. Everyone's
Absolutely.
looking for the quick fix. They're not on that long-term journey.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And you realize that, and the more you surround yourself with people wanting to be, you can really pick out those people immediately, because it's usually people that don't talk about doing it, that are behind the scenes actually doing it, and I found like along my path going to different countries and whatnot, there's different examples of like, there is a guy who went into the pro leagues. Like, I met a guy in the Philippines. He was 31. He just came over from the US. He'd been a dentist for 6 years, and he came over and he finally signed a pro contract over there. So I was just like, when I hear things like that, I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I know I'm not going to play in the Premier League. Of course, miracles can happen. I'm not going to say never. But like, if we're being realistic, I always knew the route to getting there. Why would they ever take someone like me or somebody in their late 20s who has never had experience anywhere near that level, when there's somebody who has evidence of competing at that level? I know there's there is a certain criteria in certain circumstances, but if you really just love the game and you're just pursuing an opportunity to make it your full time, there are so many countries out there. There are so many coaches out there with different opinions. And it really is all about just like knowing who you are, knowing that you're willing to put in the work to do it. And that's honestly a very hard conversation to have, because there's a lot of people really not willing to actually do it. But I know myself, like anywhere I've ever been, I'm just like relentlessly always looked for somewhere to train, like jumping fences to break into colleges, getting kicked out of security. Like, as long as I can get that 10 minutes in, I'm like, okay, well, can I just get one more set and stuff like that? I'm like, I know I'll do whatever it takes. I'm willing to go near, far, everywhere, like wherever the opportunity is. So I've always enjoyed that. And for me, I'm a big fan of culture. I'm a big fan of immersing myself in places that are really just completely different to where I grew up and things like that, because I think that really helps you solidify who you are a lot more. I think if you stay in the same place a lot
For sure.
and you're just around the same people all the time, it just kind of affirms a version of yourself, if you know what I mean. But if you're talking to new
Yeah.
people, if you're in a brand new culture, then you really figure out who you are, what you do like, what you dislike, what makes you uncomfortable, how mentally strong you are, and things like that. And so, yeah, I believe if I just stayed in England, I probably wouldn't have pursued it any further than after Luton Town. I probably would have gone to university. I would have got a job and just lived I don't want to call it a normal life, but just a typical lifestyle, you know. And
100%.
but and that's because of the culture I would have been in. Like the people I surrounded myself with, they all grew up in the same neighborhood as me. So you see a certain pattern for people's lives. But the minute you get up and go and you meet people from different walks and you realize life can just be exactly what you make it, as long as you're willing to put yourself out there, then you kind of ignore all the, once you've lived it, a non-typical life, all of those stereotypes like, oh, this is the age you need to be before you be a pro, or that, the other. Those things don't feel real anymore. Like I just don't think there's any boundaries whatsoever. I'm not saying I'm an amazing player or anything like that, but like I knew if I just stay consistent and relentless, eventually a coach will take me for who I am. And it's basically just like, it's not always the best players that make it to the top level. It's the ones who just stay the course.
Yeah,
honestly.
most persistent ones.
Yeah,
think about water. You know, a rock wants to stop that water. Boom! It's hitting it. It's hitting it, and then you know, if eventually it erodes that rock. Boom! It's through. Persistence.
Yeah, it's not an exclusive club being a professional. It's just those who are just willing to just continue on and face a lot of no's and understand it's not the end every time they it's just it's a reroute. It's not a full, it's never the end of the road. It's always just okay, this road's not for me. Take a little, try this one, try this one, try this one. And all of that is so much fun as well. It's tough in moments, but looking back on it, it's kind of like, I always tell people, I'm like, tell me the best movie you've ever watched. I bet the best movie you ever watched wasn't someone who just lived a normal life and like everything was great all the time. It's the movies that have like serious challenges and they rise from those challenges. They're overcoming certain things and then they're finding some success, getting knocked back. And like that's how you want to live your life. That's what you want to look back on and talk about. You don't want to talk about, oh yeah, it was comfortable and it was good. At least for me. Maybe some people honestly enjoy that, but if you know deep down that's not you, then you got to do it. You got to keep going.
Nah, dude, that's 100%. So beautifully said.
Hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure you click one of these two videos right here to stay up to date with the best football development channel here on YouTube. And most importantly, don't forget to drink your sparkling water. Deuces.